Shame is not a motivator. It's definitely not a motivator for change, and it's also definitely not something that helps anyone who's in active or previous addiction. Sometimes I forget that people haven't heard of Brene Brown, especially a lot of men, but Brene Brown is the leading researcher in shame.
Shame is the gremlin who says, you're not good enough. The thing to understand about shame is it's not guilt. Shame is a focus on self. Guilt is a focus on behavior. Shame is I am bad. Guilt is I did something bad. Shame is highly, highly correlated with addiction, depression, violence, aggression, bullying, suicide, eating disorders. Shame for women is this web of unattainable, conflicting, competing expectations about who we're supposed to be. For men, shame is not a bunch of competing, conflicting expectations. Shame is one. Do not be perceived as what? Weak. How many of you, honestly, when you're thinking about doing something vulnerable or saying something vulnerable, think, God, vulnerability is weakness. This is weakness. How many of you think of vulnerability and weakness synonymously? The majority of people. And that myth is profoundly dangerous. Vulnerability is our most accurate measurement of courage.
I've lost 60 pounds twice. One pre-baby, post-baby. And here's the thing, I never lost that 60 pounds when I was shaming myself for being overweight. I never lost the weight when I was hating myself for being overweight. I was only able to lose the weight when I decided that I wanted more for myself. I wanted to feel comfortable. I wanted to feel better in my body. I wanted to move better. I wanted to be stronger. I wanted to think about long-term health. I've been a personal trainer for almost 9 years now. Or maybe it has been 9 years. That's wild. I can tell when someone comes to me when they actually want to lose weight because their motivators don't come from shame. When people come to me and they want to lose weight and that weight is tied to shame and they're shaming themselves and beating themselves up for the fact that they look a certain way or feel a certain way, they almost always fall off the wagon, whether that's exercise or food. But when it's coming from a place of wanting to make positive change, that's when they lose weight. So when we're talking about people in active addiction, shaming them does not make them change. When we're talking about generational trauma, shaming someone doesn't make them want to change or experience positive change. That's why even when we're talking about, white, okay, there's conversation around that and they're like, trying to change people's minds. I don't respond back to people in an attempt to change their minds. I respond back to people as a way to give other people information, and I am shaming the person for making racist comments. Why? Because shame won't change their perception of what's happening. It won't change their beliefs. But what it will do is make them second guess saying it out loud again. Because after World War II, when so many people who did horrible things to people fled, right? They fled, they went to other places, they shut the fuck up about their beliefs. And now those people's kids, grandkids are coming out in full force. And I truly believe they should be shamed back into the shadows of not speaking about things like their beliefs, like the things that they believe. And now I'm talking people who believe that they're inherently better because of their skin color. I think those people should be shamed back into the pits of hell that they came from. Because I don't think that you're ever going to change a white mind. You're not going to change their mind. But you can shame them to shut the fuck up. Because once again, shame is not a motivator.